Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mike D from Rock Guitar Power and Super Guitar Licks. So, I have a lesson for you today that I thought would be really cool to share with you. And it came to me, the idea for this, when I was working on just writing a little groove this morning that I was just doing some practicing and jamming to. The idea of the lesson is for when you're writing music, the idea is I think it's important to write for what's in your head and try to stay true to what you hear and what you want it to sound like, regardless of anything else. The main thing being time signatures. This is a big one for me, and I'm going to explain everything about what I'm talking about and show you the riff I came up with. And it might get a little bit more technical, but still, I'll break it down as simply as I can. So let me just start by playing the groove I came up with, okay? I was just sitting here this morning, drinking some coffee, and I came up with this groove. Okay, pretty simple. It's using a D minor 7 chord. It's doing some hammer-ons with the 7ths. And then it goes to G minor 7 and to A minor 7. So when I came up with this, I was literally just hanging out with my guitar. I didn't have a metronome going. I didn't have a drum loop or anything. And this groove just came to me, all right? So I liked it, and I just started jamming on top of it after putting in the looping pedal. But then I started blocking it out on paper, something that I always do when I come up with a groove. If I'm not even by my computer, which it's not far from me, but I have a pad and paper that I really like to make notes on about a specific chord progression, groove, melody, lick, whatever it is. I have this guy sitting right here next to my practice area here, okay? And what was funny is when I was writing this down, that's when I start breaking down what time signature it is and how long each chord is played for within the bar. And when I did this, I'm like trying to work it out. And I had a metronome, and obviously most people are used to 4/4 time, okay? And what happened was, this is not in 4/4. It sounds like it's in 4 almost, or you don't really hear that it's in anything different. But when you go to listen to it and use a metronome, what I found out is that it's actually in 5/4, okay? And I'm going to jump to just showing you exactly what it is. And I was actually able to find a cool way to bring in. Literally, I just took a picture of what was on my paper and wrote it down. So the tempo of this is at 130. I got my metronome right here. And what happened was, when I just broke it down and started to find out where it sits with a metronome, it wouldn't fit in 4 the way I was playing it. At that point, I had a very critical decision to make. I could sit there and say, I want to maybe just make this in 4/4 because that's what everybody likes or that's what's so used to. Or I could stick to what was in my head and stick to the way I thought it should sound. And that's the idea of this lesson here, okay? And what I'm also going to do, though, is show you how you could take something the way you intended it, but also maybe make a B version of it so that I can put it in 4, all right? But let me go ahead now and play to the metronome and show you the way it clicks out with the metronome. You can see the rhythm right now. So we're on a bar of D, and again, this is the way I like to make notation. Very simple. Get the ideas out. You don't have to tab out every single thing, but it's so quick and easy for me to do this, and I don't lose the idea. So here's the metronome at 130. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there it is. So, I found out it's in 5/4. And again, it's not a very common time signature, but it's the time signature that the groove is in. And again, I might write a song based upon this, or if I just want to go and jam with people, at least now I could say, hey, we're going to do a jam in 5/4. All right, that might trip people up. It might excite some people, but that is the groove. And I wanted to stay true to what was in my head. So I think it's an important thing, if you like that side of the, of the notation, the technical side, and knowing what you're doing. I have written some really weird stuff that's in odd time signatures. And I do that a lot, actually, and it's just part of my playing. It's something that I think gives me a certain sound or a certain groove as far as my writing style. But I really love that idea of not changing something just for the sake of making it nice and even and being in a very common time signature. Now, with that said, let's take a look at how we could now take this groove and put it in 4/4 time, okay? Because again, you might go to a jam or you might go to hang out with some people that want to play with you. And if they're trying to count 5/4, and it might just totally throw them off, okay? So let's put together this same groove in 4/4. And basically, here's the way I came up with it so that we can make it sound in 4/4. So notice now we're doing 2 bars on D minor 7, and then we're doing a bar on G minor 7 and a bar of A minor. So now it's 4 bars long, but it's in 4/4 rather than 5/4. Okay? So if we move our metronome to 4/4, all right, same tempo to, oops, hang on. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And that's how the groove can sound if you want to put it in 4. Okay? Very similar, but it's not what I heard initially in my head, and it's not the groove that I was originally liking. So with that said, it really helps make you a better musician to be able to count a groove and make different versions in different time signatures, okay? Again, if you don't have the metronome going and you're not playing with a drummer, you don't really notice these things that much. They sound, because it's in 4 and there's a steady beat going, to me, that first rhythm just sounds better. It sounds more fun to me, and it's what I heard in my head. I want to stay true to that. Maybe I change time signatures when it goes to another groove or a chorus or whatever. But I think it's an important thing to break down what you do. Have something like this. It's very easy for you to notate your ideas so you don't lose them. And again, the physical notation of the rhythm, the chord changes, it helps you be a better musician, all right? So just a fun little idea, short lesson that I wanted to share with you, but very powerful. So have some fun with that, all right? So let's go ahead and jam along to this a little bit. What I'm going to do is throw on the looping pedal and just jam to this, all right? I'll leave the little chord progression up here so you can see it, and let's see what happens. So we're going to take our metronome, lock this nice and tight. Oops, let's go. Again, this is at 130, and here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, hang on. So now here's something that funny that happens. Sometimes you're kind of thinking, where's 4, where's 5? And it just takes a little bit to get back into the groove of where it was. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. right, cool. Just a quick little jam for you there. So have fun with that. Take that idea, write some music, write it down, and stay true to the thoughts that are in your head. If you have any questions on this, if you have a groove that you're trying to figure out, throw it to me. I'll help you maybe figure out the rhythm or whatever. And if you have questions on this, feel free to drop me a question, respond to this video wherever you see it, or send in an email to support@rockguitarpower.com or support@superguitarlicks.com, and we'll see you soon. Later.